Hello, everybody. Welcome to our Tuesday Live. As you guys know, we jump on here every single Tuesday with some free live coaching for you, and today is no different. I'm going to give you 3 creative video ideas for real estate. Now, it's no secret that everybody should be doing videos these days. I don't think I need to spend too much time emphasizing the importance of getting on video, but if you are still sitting on the fence and you have not yet committed to showing up on video, I urge you to do so. And a lot of times there are some like common objections that we hear from people who do not want to get on video. Number one, it's either that they don't like how they look on video or they don't like how they sound on video. Number two is they don't know what to make a video about or what to say. And number 3 is that they do not know where to post it, or when they do post it, it only gets just a little bit of attention, which of course can be discouraging when you work hard on something and then you put it out there and not many people pay attention to it, look at it, listen to it, etc. So we're going to not only knock away all 3 of those objections today, but I'm also going to give you 3 creative video ideas that you can do that are going to capture more attention, generate more leads, and ultimately really make an impact for your audience. So first and foremost, the fear of showing up on video. A lot of times this can come from different limiting beliefs. It can come from fear of judgment, that other people are going to see you or hear you and not think that what you're saying is valid. But the reality is you have to think about the people that you're really going to help and that you're really going to serve when you get on and share this kind of information. Don't think about the people who are sitting there bah humbugging everything that you do, because they're going to do it no matter what. Whether you post a graphic, a photo, just plain text, or you jump on video, there's going to be people that have those judgments or that have something negative to say. It has nothing to do with you. It's only an outward reflection of themselves. So when it comes to showing up, if you're scared about how you sound, scared about how you may look on it, a couple of my top tips for overcoming that. Number 1 is, I will say, the more that you do it, the more comfortable you will get. My first couple of videos that I ever did on social media, I was tripping over my words. Heck, I still trip over my words from time to time, but that's part of what humanizes the entire experience. So don't get too caught up on thinking that you have to be perfectly reading your lines off of a script or that you have to have any kind of perfect setting. If anything, what matters a lot more is the quality of the actual camera. Oftentimes, your devices on your phone, on your computer, are more than enough. You do not need to go out and buy all kinds of custom equipment unless you're really going to take this serious and commit to this being a consistent and ongoing thing. If not, just go ahead and leverage the devices that you already have. Start doing it consistently. Hold yourself to a standard. Say, hey, I'm going to do it 3 times a week. You can pre-batch content. I honestly really suggest, and I did this a lot when I was getting started with more video content, is I would not watch them back. Because every time you sit there and you watch that video back, it's easy to think, oh, I should have said this word instead of this word, or oh, I had a hair sticking out of place like this one right here, or there was something behind me that didn't look quite right, or whatever it is. So when you watch it back, a lot of times it's easy to start nitpicking little things that really, truly, in the grand scheme of things, do not matter. So I personally commit to not watching my videos back. And of course, I have awareness if I totally went off on a tangent or didn't talk about what I meant to talk about, then I'll go back and re-record or potentially watch it. But when getting in the habit of doing videos, it's really good to just not get too stuck on going back and watching them, because it's going to start getting you into that zone of kind of nitpicking and being the perfectionist that keeps you from actually doing the content and putting it out there. So that's one really good tip for you. Now let's dive into 3 of those creative video ideas that you can do. Number 1, this is one of my favorites right now. It's very easy to do. So you can actually do this directly on Instagram and Reels or on TikTok. There's a setting for both, or there's apps that you can use if you're not a fan of either of those. But I would suggest personally just jumping onto Instagram and doing it directly in there. So what you can do is you'll go online on your phone, and many of you probably already go through and kind of read some of the top articles. If you're on Inman, Keeping Current Matters, Real Deal, any of the main websites that you may get your real estate news from, or any kind of news that's pertinent to market changes, local events even. It can be something like a local website that has to do with your specific area. Take a screenshot of that article. So you just take a quick screenshot of it. When you go into Instagram, if you go to make a reel or record something, there's actually a button. Let's see if I can make it show up on the screen here for you guys. So if I go in to shoot a reel, And I'm going to go into my images here. There's a button right at the top there that says green screen. Can you see that? It says green screen. It may look backwards for y'all. So you click green screen, and then you're just going to go ahead and select the image that you want to green screen. So this was something that I saved. This was a statistic from NAR actually. And then you see that my face is on there. See, that's my face. So I can shrink it bigger or smaller. So I can actually put my face right here on top of whatever it is that I have behind me. So in this example, it would be the screenshot of your article. I can record that. And then now I've got this video of me talking, and it's right laid over the actual article. So a great like use case for something like this is if you had an article that was maybe talking about some market changes or some updates in your area, you could take a screenshot of that article, put your face over it, and do a quick video doing a rundown of how that applies to them. And as I always tell you guys, when it comes to social media, one of the best things to run through that filter is what's in it for me. When people are consuming your content, most often that's the kind of mindset that they're looking at that content with, is what does this mean for me? And so if you have an article that does truly impact people in your area, people in your market, you want to make sure that the video content, what you're addressing in that, kind of has that same tune. What's in it for them? So if I'm talking about inventory shortages, or if I'm talking about changes in interest rates, then I may want to make sure that the video content, when I'm talking and recording over that, that I'm talking about exactly how that applies to their situation. If they're a buyer, what that could mean for them, and what it may look like going forward. That would be 3 really simple points that you could hit on in a quick 30-second video, and boom, you have it done. You didn't really have to do a whole lot of work or any editing or anything like that. So that's video idea number 1. It's a relevant article, green screen, put your face over it, and talk about how that applies to your consumers and to your viewers. Number 2, kind of similar concept. You can do this again with the green screen, or you can just simply record it, but show off your marketing material. Now, we work within what we do a lot of different custom stuff for agents. So whether it's custom listing presentations, landing pages, social media content, all kinds of different marketing assets and things that they can use to either market a product, to give more value to their clients, whatever it may be, property, sorry, not product, market a property, or give more value to their clients. So show some of that marketing material that you have. Maybe it's your listing presentation. Maybe it's something that you walk your new buyers through. If you've got an awesome buyer's guide or first time buying experience packet that you take people through, do a screen record of that, scrolling through it and showing some of that value. Or again, you could do the same green screen and explain some of the process of what you guys provide that's different and how you make sure that you're giving as much value as possible to your consumers and to your viewers. So that's option number 2. And now last but not least is number 3. This one is called doing the math. Now, this is so crucial, and this can be done in video or in a static post, but I highly suggest that you turn this into a video. But these are some of my top converting posts on social media that would generate the most amount of leads. And the reason is, this is hard for us to wrap our heads around, especially when you're in real estate and you're talking about it, you're doing it on a daily basis. It seems really obvious to us. It seems really obvious that there's all these different maybe down payment assistance programs, that there's opportunities for people to purchase with not putting 20% down, that you don't need a perfect credit score. All of that kind of stuff is obvious to us, right? Because we're around it. It's very familiar. But what you may not realize is there are still a lot of people that do not understand that that is even an option. There are still so many people that are mentally stuck in the mindset that in order to purchase, I have to have X amount of money or I have to be X amount qualified. When in reality, there's so many different solutions these days that people just simply don't know about. And so one of my favorite kinds of content to share is literally doing the math. So there's a couple of different ways to do this. Number 1, and this is a great one, is you could take a property and do an example of a net sheet. What could that net the seller? As you run through that, explain all of the different steps, how it breaks down. You can just do this with a hypothetical property and show people what that looks like. Your call to action could be, hey, reach out to me and I can put one of these together to show you what you could potentially net on the sale of your property. Now you're painting the picture for somebody, and of course you're piquing curiosity. So there are so many people that are going to see that kind of stuff. They're going to see that number that this person in a hypothetical could net $100,000 on the sale of their property, and that may pique their interest enough to reach out to you and inquire to do something similar. So that's one option on more of the seller side. On the buyer side, you could do something similar, take a property, break down what that could look like with some of the specific loan programs that you guys have available in your area or with a lender that you work with. So break it down, show them what kind of down payment they may need, show them a couple of possible scenarios. If you're in a market where you guys are consistently able to get those seller concessions again, then show what that could look like and explain the process through video. Now that may even break down into a series. You could do that in a couple of different videos or do something consistently where you're mapping out the math. There are a lot of people that are driven by logic, that are driven by the numbers. They want to see it. And if you can paint that picture for them, you can really move the needle with them taking action. So those are your 3 tips of the 3 video ideas for real estate: relevant articles on a green screen, showing off your marketing material, and last but not least is doing the math. Hopefully that was helpful for you guys. I am currently working on our updated 2023 edition of video ideas and social media content ideas. There are going to be over 300 listed on here of ideas that you can go ahead and use for social media, for videos, for posts, for email content, whatever it may be. So I'm working on the updated 2023 version of that. If you want a copy watching here on live or on replay, go ahead and comment video, and I'll make sure that as soon as that is finished, which it'll be finished up this week, we'll get a copy of that over to you so that you can start using more and more of these ideas for your social media content in the next couple months and also in 2023. So thank you guys for jumping on. As always, we'll see you next week for our live Tuesday coaching. Bye.